Hey Squishies! Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play the Ur-Quan Masters. Last time we had the beginning of the game, the first fight, some basic interactions with the Starbase Commander. This time we're going to do some exploring. Specifically, we're going to look around the solar system a bit. We've already looked at Earth, which we can't do anything at because of the slave shield. The moon, which has an abandoned base belonging to presumably the Ur-Quan Empire, or the Ur-Quan hierarchy, I should say. And Mercury, which is a death trap. This time, let's look around at some other planets. I love one of the things they did with the HD remake. Oh my god, my ship is a frickin' boat. One of the things they did with the HD remake is replaced the planets in the solar system with actual NASA photos of the planets, which I think is an awesome touch. They also, obviously, they also did some graphical improvements to all the other planets in the game, but the planets in the solar system looked great as a result of them doing that. So, if we look at Venus, it is another death trap. Tectonics are not too bad, but Class 8 weather will kill us real fast, as will a temperature of 457 C. And if we look at... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Where? Oh, there it is. If we look at the cargo manifest, we can see what each of the colors represents. And blue and white aren't that great. They'll do in a pinch, but they're not great. So let's move on. Not really worth even attempting to land on Venus. Which is actually a realistic depiction of it. Landing on Venus is beyond current technology and really freaking dangerous because of an atmosphere of death and high temperatures. Now, taking a look at Mars. So that's not super valuable resources. You know, whites are 3. That's not terrible. That's not good. But it's such an easy planet, you know. Only class 2 weather tectonics, low temperature, and it's not huge fuel use to land. We may as well do it. I am incapable of seeing bismuth without thinking of the Steven Universe character now. That show's in my brain. It is never going to come out. Almost full. So, yeah. Now comes... That's probably a total of about 10 to 15 based on the size of those blobs. Times 3 is more than the cost. So I guess it's worth it to go down for it. It's about equal to or a little more than the cost of sending the shuttle. Oh, there's only one bismuth. Well, no, this wasn't worth it at all. Should have gone with my instinct. Okay. That's Mars. An entirely uninteresting planet. Kind of fitting, actually, because despite long history of science fiction claiming otherwise, Mars does appear to actually be relatively boring. There's some slim possibility that it may once have had life, but as the rest of the solar system. Jupiter rotating super fast is not inaccurate, by the way, though I think that is a little faster than it really rotates. But it does have like a 10-hour rotation. It's really fast. So, where are we? Io. Class 4 tectonics is a little high. Maybe if it's got... Oh, it does have really good resources. Oh, that's a tough call. Orange is, if I recall correctly, the second best. It is 8 per. I'm gonna risk it, but I'm gonna keep one finger on the take off button just in case. Wow, we filled up on that fast. This is good. This is good. I'm aware that this part of the gameplay is possibly not the most interesting thing, whoa, in human history to watch. Fortunately, there is other stuff coming in this episode, I assure you. Alright, we lost a couple people, but still kind of worth going back for more. Alright. Alright. That was a pretty good haul, though. Let's take a look at Jupiter itself. As you'll see, it's got no tectonics in Class 8 weather because it's nothing but gas. In fact, can't land there. The game has, you know, the gas giants of the solar system, and it's got a few others. I mean, it's got a lot of others scattered around the universe, but you cannot land on them, and so there's almost no reason to interact with them. There is exactly one gas giant in the entire game worth interacting with, where anything at all will happen, and we'll be getting to that one a while down the road. You may have noticed I do kind of follow a pattern of starting in and moving out. It's just an easy way to keep track of what I have and haven't done. Ooh, some radioactive stuff. Planet's otherwise mostly junk, but ooh. As well pick up to fill the cargo hold. If I'm too full of stuff, I can always dump some. There is a limit to how much your ship can hold. You expand that by adding cargo pods, which I have pretty much never seen a reason to do. But I think I'm still a ways away from that. And it's based on how many units of stuff you have, not on, like, its worth or anything. Blue is kind of shitty. Yeah, meh. Wait, which blue is that? Is that the light blue or the dark blue? And I think that's the dark blue that's worth 4. And this is a really easy planet, so... Okay, fine. After the initial solar system, once we head off into the wider universe, I'm going to be much pickier about which planets I land on, and that will therefore be a much smaller percentage of gameplay. It's just that this early in the game, I don't want to die immediately on leaving the solar system, so I want to be able to afford to upgrade my ship a little bit before I do. Because right now, it is garbage. No! Come on, you. Okay. Nothing. Thanks, Callisto. You're a pal. And that's it for Jupiter. Next is, I guess, Saturn. No! I really hate trying to navigate my ship when it's this clunky. I usually go for engines and turning jets first thing for that reason. Class 3 weather is not worth... Yeah, it's not worth braving that for garbage when we've got much better stuff. No, Saturn, you are a bust. I note the game did not actually put in Saturn's rings. I think if you go to Saturn itself, they're there, but they don't get a visualization on this screen. What even is Neptune's moon? Is it Charon? Triton. Is Charon Pluto? I think Charon is Pluto. Yeah, alright, this is a much easier planet. Moon, whatever. I'll take it. Oh! Oh, wait, no, sorry, I was misreading my... Arsenic. That's odd. Potassium. Not entirely sure what that's useful for on starship construction, but good to have. I also have no idea if they did any research in terms of what stuff is found on what planets in the solar system. Obviously, for the rest of the universe, it's all made up anyway. Only 2 left. Those of you who have played the game may know what's coming. But I'm choosing to act as if I don't, and not making a beeline straight there, even though it's one of my favorite parts of the entire game. Anyway. Uranus is useless. And yes, they did get in that Uranus rotates at right angles to everything else in the solar system. I don't know if that will show up. It was a little hard to see on my screen, but it was rotating vertically instead of horizontally or at some angle. And last but not least, Pluto, which is or isn't a planet these days. I don't even know. Honestly, there are really only 2 kinds of objects you typically find orbiting stars. Gas giants and little chunks of shit. Really, the difference between the little things like Earth and gas giants is enormous. So, you may have noticed some interesting stuff here on Pluto. Namely, a purple, which is the most valuable by a lot. Radioactives are the second most valuable. They're worth 8 apiece. Purples are exotics and are worth 25 apiece. And in the lower left, an energy signature, which means stuff to investigate. First, stuff to take. 5 show crystals. Don't ask me what its show crystal is. It's exotic matter of some kind. And now... Well, now what might that be? Anyone who had played the first game would immediately recognize it. Anyone who started with this game perhaps might not. Mayday from surface! We have come under fire from an alien vessel we found hiding on the surface of Pluto. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all 3 of the Lieberman triplets. The bastards killed Fritz! Sorry, reference to an honestly terrible Ralph Bakshi movie. We have returned fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. We are initiating emergency launch procedures. By the way, they killed 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Attention to detail. There were 8 people named in that message.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Scotty, Captain Fwiffo. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spatiwa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spati server, which is only by me and several billion others, Spati, is Happy Muppy Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense system fired on it when it got...
Behold, my favorite character in this game, in, I am sorry to report, his only scene, Fwiffo. I love you, Fwiffo. So, some options. We can tell him to prepare to die. We can tell him to identify himself or be destroyed. We can say we come in peace, or we can beg for him not to kill us. I'm gonna say we come in peace.
Are you sure? Because your statement is often just a more polite way of saying, attention alien veteran, identify yourself or be destroyed. In any event, I am Scotty Captain Fwiffo of the Void Ship's Star Runner, based here in this planetary system as part of the powerful Earth-powered Star Force, which our masters, the Ur-Quan, established here to ensure the Earthlings don't do anything tricky.
So, I could try saying that, but he'd just say no. This I can ask about. Alright, this is backstory we basically already knew.
Of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at
Alright, that's info which we didn't exactly have. We knew that Earth had been conquered, but according to Fwiffo, the entire alliance was defeated. So what are you doing here on Pluto?
When the Ur-Quan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy, as combat roles, and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to pre-atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hurriedly combat starships from the Midnight and Sputnik fleets to create the so-called Earth Star.
So, this is interesting. We already know about the choice from the Starbase Commander, Commander Hayes, that's his name. But why did the Ur-Quan offer a choice is something that we don't know. Why don't they just enslave everyone and force them to fight? Why do they offer them the choice to instead be encased? Given that they're offering the choice, it makes sense, okay, potential threats either serve or get sealed away, but why do they give the choice at all? Second of all, while they said the shield is impenetrable, clearly they're not sure it is, because otherwise why would you need any kind of a guard force watching over it? And finally, how did they ensure pre-atomic savagery? Was the guard force supposed to watch to make sure, like, are they able to scan through the shield and pick up if humans start developing nuclear technology? Which, in Golden Age science fiction, was very often like the dividing line. As soon as you have nuclear power, you're, able to join the interstellar community or seen as a threat by the interstellar community because nuclear weapons are so powerful. There's actually, in the manual, I don't think it's anywhere in the game, but in the manual there's a fun little aside about how humanity had achieved unity and peace, and then another species, the Chinjesu, showed up and were like, hey, your radio signals from 100 years have gotten far enough out into space that the Ur-Quan have picked them up. They're coming to enslave you. Join us to fight back against them. And after the humans agreed, the Jesu were like, okay, so we know that you're peaceful and you don't have any weapons. And the humans were like, well, no, actually, we still have all these Cold War era nukes. Would it be helpful to have enough explosives to wipe out all life on this planet many times? And the Chinjesu basically were like, what the fuck? So human ships have a very powerful weapon that's homing and slow, but they have kind of crappy ships. Because we were only just getting out into space, but we had freaking ICBMs. Anyway, tell me what you are doing on Pluto now.
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us starting a bit uneasy because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. But the internet kept telling us that it was impossible since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the internet left, again we grew fearful and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon that we needed, then later...
So, in case you haven't picked up on this, which I suspect you have, the Spathi are cowards. Their strongest motivator is fear. Their greatest cultural goal is self-preservation. And they're literally invertebrates. They don't have backbone.
The backbone of the Earth Guard Force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Iraq's passivity and wanted them to kill or at least torture someone soon.
That sounds like the Oroth.
I believe they just got...
Those are the ones we already met, the evil spider people in pink Klingon ships.
pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question. And
I love that he does a little imitation of an Ilroth voice.
We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on the Luna, they would be more likely to try something sanity. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnormé program called...
Remember when we first went there and our tech thought that that looping transmission was a distress signal? Alien porn. Easy mistake to make.
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-bound forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which...
I mean, all the voice acting in this game is a bit amateurish. Some of it is really bad. Fwiffo is perfection. It's amateurish, but it's perfect for him.
Thousands, that is to say, scores, and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass-destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system, should we choose to do so.
Thank you for that, Fwiffo.
Fortunately for you, we have this
I appreciate the generosity.
today.
But, come on, hundreds.
I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor stopper like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' lunar-class void ships typically holds 30 stopper crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Starrunner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the arms of evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how
I can indeed.
on board, which is a bit frightening, as I'm sure you can understand.
See, this now is just me being mean. This is such a way of manipulating a Spocky. I still don't know why a species of cowards is named after a Roman sword, but okay.
How true, Captain, how true. In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been right here at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order
So,
to save
here's something interesting.
planet life forms.
18 years ago, the Ilroth left. Implied just now is that by 7 years ago, Fwiffo was the only member of this Earth Guard still left behind. The Ilroth and the Spocky are supposed to be slaves of the Ur-Quan. Why haven't the Ur-Quan done anything about them abandoning their posts? Obviously, this is a mystery which the game will be exploring. But at this point, it's just an interesting little apparent inconsistency.
And yet the ultimate evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence
Ah,
as to
yes.
the ultimate evil's
We can't see it, that's how powerful it is. Classic conspiracy theoriness. Well, here's a very good question we can ask. Why aren't the Ur-Quan around?
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last alliance race, the I think, the Ur-Quan started their dreadnoughts and departed for the edge of the galaxy, sending us to a very destabilized.
So,
They're not when they return.
at least right now, the implication is they're just gone. Why? We still really don't know. I am deliberately avoiding this question because the answer to this question opens up some amazing stuff. Some of my favorite dialogue in the game.
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat roles, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the unsquirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Risha 50.
Okay, before that, bug squirt equal beetle juice. It's a pun. The Cyrene are at Beetlejuice. That is farther away than I am going to be able to go for a little bit of game. There's some dangerous stuff between here and there. Now, what do you mean Blaze of Glory? What happened to the show fixie? Okay, here's where we start getting to some problematic stuff. The Shofixti are a giant pile of stereotypes about Japanese people. Worse, they're a giant pile of late 80s, early 90s stereotypes about Japanese people. So of course, they're an entire species of kamikaze pilots. I apologize for this in advance. Ugh. That's so gross.
Having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war, given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Shofixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system.
I mean, on the one hand, that's awesome. The Shofixti are the weakest ships in the original game, and they're the Alliance race that did the most damage to the hierarchy in the end. At the same time, ew. Like I said, giant pile of stereotypes about the Japanese. And on top of that, one of the most racialized alien races in the game are described as half feral and didn't even achieve technology on their own. They were given it by the Yihat, which, of course, is a really racist depiction of Japan's interactions with the West, especially the US. Ugh, it just grosses me the fuck out. This is a very, very good game, but the stuff with the Shofixti is its single biggest flaw. And we haven't even gotten yet to how they're voiced. Anyway, why are you still here, Captain Fwiffo?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving master, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Born Happy, to put the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it would really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Fwiffo, was left here alone. For as even the most immature and
Their ancient and solemn ritual is picking straws. Alright, time for one of my favorite bits of dialogue in the game. This one goes on for a little bit, but it is worth it.
Me, personally, nice of you to ask. I was born a poor green in passing, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parents had worked hard to support us, seemed
Forgot that bit.
independence. Essentially, they pried me from the door jam and rode me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land, through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush. So I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a study of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well, so I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of correct stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted, aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house. I knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner, headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been...
That life story is amazing. I mean, come on. From the absurd number of children, his mom called him by name once, right down to kind strangers relieving him of his funds and signing him up for the Navy. I mean, everything about that is just such pure, pathetic tragedy, voiced in such silliness. I love it. And now that we've heard his life story, if we ask him to join our fleet, sure.
Your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though. And make sure you understand that any other spaceships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of line with a totally unknown alien, which I haven't been left here.
We have a friend who we will never interact with again. But he gave us his ship, which he is the only person on board, and therefore it has one whole hit point right now. But nonetheless, we have accomplished something. We are no longer entirely alone in this endeavor. And I think on that note, it is time to save the game and call it a day. I hope you all enjoyed this. I don't see how you could not when Fwiffo showed up. Next time, gonna do as quickly as possible a little bit of housekeeping and upgrading of the ship, and then it's time to start exploring beyond the solar system. There's a few different options of where I could go, but I think I know who and where I'm going to go next. Probably next time I will also talk a little bit to the commander for some world-building type stuff. I was sort of thinking I would do it this time, but this took a little longer than I expected it to. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon for early access to vlogs, essays, let's plays, and more. And like I said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!